chapter 10. Chapter 9 video questions. The accompanying table shows the ages and years of 11 children and the number of words and their vocab. Complete parts A through D. Click here to view the data table, table of critical values. Calculate the correlation coefficient. Okay, since I'm doing this online, I'm going to show you how you could have done that using the StatCrunch. It's much faster than using TI-84, but we will do one with the TI-84. So click here. Look, guys, this is where it takes you to StatCrunch right here. You still remember how to go to linear regression from here? It's a stat. And can you see the word, guys? What does it say? Regression, simple linear. Select the X variable, which is age. Select the Y variable, which is the vocab. And is he asking for a test here? No. So that's it. Compute. And watch, guys. Everything you need is already there. He wants a correlation coefficient R. It's right here. This is the correlation coefficient R. 0.97, how many decimals? 3 decimal places, so it will be 0.975. So you just put 0.975 here. Describe the type of correlation, if any. So there seems to be a positive, strong positive linear correlation between age, X, and what was the Y variable, whatever it is. We'll just put it there. So let me go back. So strong positive. I think you agree with that, guys. Linear correlation, that's all you need to pick. Interpret the correlation. What does it mean? As age increase, you notice there is, he wants also the graph, the scatter plot. So let me go back to StatCrunch and just show you the scatter plot here. It's the next one, guys, right here. So you should be able to pick it up. It doesn't look like it's B, C, or D. Do you guys agree with me? It looks like it's... oh, it looks like B. Notice here, guys. You see those two dots above each other, those two dots, it looks like I have it right here. So that will be a B. That would be the answer. Interpret the correlation. What does the correlation tells us here? We have age and vocab. As age increase, the number of vocabulary words, just tend to increase. That's what we notice here. So you select this one from here. Not A, not B. Yeah, it's D. As age increases, the number of words and children vocab tends to increase. And that's a fact, actually. They learn more, so they tend, just to manage to retain, just more vocab words. Now, the last part, pay attention to the last part, guys. That's an easy hypothesis test without performing the hypothesis test. Use the table of critical values for the Pearson correlation coefficient to make conclusion about the correlation coefficient. Let alpha equal 0.01. Okay, so he gave you a link to the critical value here. You have 11 children and alpha is 0.01. So I'm going to click on it and watch, guys. Okay, so N is 11. Right here. Alpha is 0.01, so that's 0.01. And that's the critical value, 0.735. And remember, the correlation is significant when the absolute value of R is greater than the value in the table. My value in the table is 0.735, as you can see. and my R is 0.935, I think it was. So let me show you what we put in the last one here. So the critical value is 0.735. And because the R value and absolute value is bigger than 0.735, the table tells us conclude that correlation is significant. Then there is sufficient evidence at the 1% level of significance to conclude that there is a significant linear correlation between the children age and the number of words. If R was less than this value, then you say there is not sufficient evidence to conclude that there is a correlation. Okay, so that takes care of this question. Oh, okay. Find the equation of the regression line for the given data set, then construct a scatter plot for the data and draw the regression line. And then for each X value, find the Y value. Okay, let's do it in StatCrunch first. And then I'm going to do that on the calculator as well. So open in StatCrunch. I think it's very easy if you do StatCrunch. That's the advantage of doing the work online. We're not in class, so you could use StatCrunch here. Okay, guys, so again, stat, regression, simple linear. The X variable, it's the heights. The Y variable is the stories. And just compute. And here's the equation, guys. Y equals 9.0015 plus 0.06x. Yeah, one thing I want to know, I wanted to pay attention to, and I think I provided the solution of all of those. Chapter 9 assignment. Many students, just mixed up between the A and B values. So they put the X, just next to B where it should have been AX plus B. Just be very, very, and you got some answer that didn't make sense, just on chapter 9 assignment. I'm going to email you the solutions of chapter 8 and 9 assignments. I think they're already posted in Moodle, and I want you to check, just on your mistakes. So the X should follow always, when you use your calculator, if it says A plus BX, so make sure you attach the X to B, not to A, because you've seen it before as AX plus B. Just follow the prompt on your screen. And here, your Y is 9 plus 0.06x. You see where the X is attached to. And if you want to see the scatter plot, guys, it's right here. So that's the scatter plot. You can select, the answer. So if I go back and I want to enter the answer, he says round the slope to 3 decimal places. So I'm going to put 0.061 x plus, let me bring it back, 3 decimal places, 9.001, is it? 9.002. There you go. And now pick the correct graph. Just show it to you again. This is the graph. It's already done for you. It has to point up a little bit, so A is not correct. Let's see. So C is not correct. So it's between B and D. So here it starts at 35. It looks like it's almost 37. So which one, guys, do you think it is going to be, B or D? You can fire it up. That looks like a 10 here. And here, a 10. Any suggestion? it will turn out to be this right here. It's D. Oh, that's different numbers now. Once, see, that's why I don't try to show completed solution, because it will change the numbers. Now for the remaining part, guys, you need to find the y value for x equals 498. So just plug it here, plug in x equals 498. Remember, the value of x has to be within the range. If it is not within the range, then you could not do it. Predict the value for 646. Is 646 included within the range? Yes, you plug it in. So you put 0.046 times 646 plus 16.33. That's a different equation from what I got, guys, because I just clicked show completed problem and then it gave me a different problem. Let me show you where it's not meaningful. For 810, guys, it says it's not meaningful. Why? Because you can see 810 is outside the range right there. So you just select not meaningful here. Okay, as I promised you, I said I'm going to do this using the calculator. So I'm going to bring the calculator and show you how you could have done this on the calculator. I know it's been a while since we did work with chapter 9. Clear, enter. Okay, so enter the x values first. 774. So I'm gonna just stick to this one, and I'm not gonna uncheck it, because if I uncheck it, it will give me a different problem. 521, 508, 497, and 477. That's not too bad of a problem, because I only have 6 data entries, guys. L2 is 51, 47, 44, 41, 37, 36. All right, you're ready. So you go to stat, calc, linear regression AX plus B. Okay, confirm L1, confirm L2, hit calculate. Oops, we hit the wrong one. Sorry. Number 4. Now L1, L2, don't do anything here. Calculate. Okay, you can see it's a perfect match, guys. 0.046x. You see, A should go with X. It just follow the prompt. Many of you for chapter 9 did not get full score because they messed up. They put the A instead of B and the B instead of X. So just be very careful here. And the B will be 16.33. You can see right there. Okay. And then you want to find X, Y values, you just plug in the X values. If it makes sense, if the X value is within the range. If it's not within the range, say it's not applicable, not meaningful. Okay. He wants the coefficient of determination here. So the table shows the number of goals allowed on the total points earning, 2 points for a win, 1 point for an overtime or sure out loss by 14 ice hockey teams over the course of a season. The equation of a regression line is giving. Use the data to answer the following. Find the coefficient of determination R squared and interpret its results. Okay, guys, let me go to StatCrunch and do it in StatCrunch quickly. Watch. Stat, regression, simple linear. We only do simple linear. Goal. Oops, sorry, that's Y. So the first one is X, the second one, and just hit compute, guys. And look, this is R squared. It's 0.599, and he says 3 decimal places, it will be 0.6, which is exactly what you see right there, guys. And how do you interpret R squared? You change it to a percent. So 60% of the variation of the y variables can be explained by the variation of the x variables. Let's see where it says that here. 60% of the variation in the points earned, which is the y variable, can be explained by the relationship, by the variation in the goals allowed using the regression line. Now he's asking you to find the standard error of the estimate. It's already in StatCrunch. Let me show you. Let me just put it back. I think I canceled that. So let me just put it. And if you do linear regression t-test, it will give you SE as well. Let me just do that one more time. But if you guys like to use StatCrunch, that's fine. Look, SE, it's right there. There you go. Estimate of error standard deviation is 10.926. It's right there. And this is where you just write it down, guys. That's all. Okay, next question. Again, very similar to the question that we did. The accompanying table shows the heights in inches of 8 high school girls and their scores on an IQ test. Display the data in a scatter plot, choose the correct graph, calculate R. So you guys can click on the data table, open it in StatCrunch, watch. There's a third time we do that in StatCrunch today. Go to Stat, Regression, Simple Linear, X variable height, IQ score is Y, and just hit compute. And he wants R. R is negative 0. Here you go. This is R. Negative 0.05. Look, guys. 7858. There you go. When R is very close to 0, there is no correlation. The correlation is very, very weak. So this is R squared. This is the equation if you need it. And this is the scatter plot, guys. You can see A matches with this scatter plot, as you can see. Just take a good look, very sharp look at the graph and try to match it. You should be able to match it right away. Okay. So R is negative 0.058. If R is away from 1 or negative 1, guys, there is no correlation. So you select this one. And interpret your answer. If the correlation is weak, based on the correlation, there doesn't appear to be a linear correlation between X and Y, the height in inches and the IQ score. So that means we don't think that there is a relationship between the height of a person and his or her IQ score. Okay. This is another hypothesis test. Now we're going to use the linear regression t-test for this one. Listed below are numbers of internet users per 100 people and the number of scientific award winners per 10 million people for different countries. Construct a scatter plot, find the values of the linear correlation coefficient R, and find the p-value of R. Determine whether there is a sufficient evidence to support the claim of correlation. Okay. Okay, he says a claim of linear correlation. He didn't say positive and he didn't say negative. So what do you guys think that we would select right here? Any suggestions?
Equal to, non-equal to.
That is correct. If I say test for positive correlation, guys, will be greater than 0. If I say test for negative correlation, will be less than 0. And if I say correlation, it will be not equal to 0. Okay, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do this on the calculator just to show you how to do the linear regression t-test on the calculator. So we can flavor this out using the calculator as well. but static crunch will be available to you. So I'm gonna clear them. This is how you clear. Hit clear and enter. Select, the name of the list and clear it. So 78.9, guys. 78.1. 57.7. 66.6. 79.4. And I got one more. So it doesn't take much time, guys, as you can see on the calculator. Not bad at all. L2, 5.4, 8.7, 3.3, 1.8. Oh, that's 11 here. Okay. Just be very careful. And 0.1. That's what I got. Okay. To find R, guys, you can do this. Okay, let's do the linear regression t-test and we get everything, including R. So test, scroll up, linear regression t-test. With this one, you can do everything. L1, L2, frequency not equal to 0, and hit calculate. Okay. T is 2.869, so probably 87 to 2 decimal places. P-value is 0.045, and what's alpha here? He says 0.01, so that's bigger than alpha. So fail to reject the null hypothesis, and there is not enough evidence to conclude that correlation is significant. Look at the equation, guys. Now this is where I want you to pay attention to. This is where many students messed up in chapter 9 assignment. So when you write the equation, guys, you write it like this. Y hat equals. It says here A plus BX, so you must attach the B to X. What some students did, they still attach the A to X, write it as AX plus B. No. So B is 0.213 X plus A, which is negative 9.15, for example. And that will be your equation. Any questions, guys? R will be here. If you want R, just scroll down. R is 0.82. How many decimals he wants? 3 decimal places, so it will be 0.2820. And you just fill in the rest. The test statistic, the p-value, whatever the p-value was, right there. 0.0455, which is bigger than alpha, and greater than. There is not sufficient evidence to support the claim. Okay, guys, so that's how you do this one. Okay. I'm gonna stop the recording here and then go to chapter 10.